I am here with Angie Rey, aka Angie Rey Music, a lot of social platforms. That means I think you're a very focused artist, Angie. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So, first off, the voice journey, it's such a big deal just to make it. What is, I looked on your IG, you talked about the roller coaster. What kind of roller coaster of emotions, that wave that you go through as far as succeeding in every round and also having to say goodbye to some of your close friends along the way? What's that kind of push and pull like for you?
It's an interesting process because you start the whole process going in, with the flight to LA for blind auditions. And, your first concern is like, what if I don't get a chair turn and I don't get on a team? And then from there, it quickly turns into, oh my gosh, what if the teams fill up and I don't even get a chance to sing? So it's like, that's a very real feeling, like straight from the beginning. Then there's battles where it's like this constant like comparison that goes on and the feeling of like, oh, they're so much better than me. They look better than me. They are better than me. Oh, I love them. How could they not love them? Like, there's no way I'm going to win this. And that was very real to me and my battle partner, who I'm really close with now and love so much. And then, now with knockouts, it's like, same thing. It's the comparison. Sure, I have my own song, but now you're comparing apples to oranges where we're two totally different people doing totally different things. And it's like, how do you pick a winner? I think I had an exit speech prepared since before battles. So I was ready to go really early on.
By the way, that exit speech, which really isn't an exit speech, but can you just how how hard was it to create that exit speech? Because you almost made me tear up, and I kind of sort of hate you for it in a good
It
way.
was so funny because my parents will call me now and be like, the exit speech sounded a little like this. Sometimes it's like it sounded so funny. I had it prepared and you never know how much time they're going to give you up there. So I was like, I need to, be quick with a punch. And so it was just one little sentence and it was the best sentence ever. And I think it's something that I'll live by on and off the screen.
You're not supposed to make viewers cry. We're supposed to enjoy the
What?
music. What kind
Like to just cry on the show.
of that's or can I go out and give a hug? That was like one of my favorite moments on The
Oh,
Voice.
with my battle partner, we laugh about that still. And it's funny because I love reading comments and it's like I know why they didn't let me go give her a hug. Like that makes perfect sense because it was her moment, but in my brain I was like she needs me right now. Like I need to give her a hug and I was like she doesn't need me. She's fine.
Angie, so I am a first generation immigrant as well. First generation American, Asian American, you're first generation Cuban American. Can you just tell our listeners the advantages and the joy of fusing your heritage, but also being American and embracing country music? What has been just merging those both worlds like for you as an
Wow.
artist?
This is actually one of my favorite questions to talk about because I think it's something that people confuse a lot. They're like, "How could you be of a Hispanic background and love country music as much as you do?" It's something that I battle with a lot, actually, from like a traditional country audience. And it's what's so interesting is if you take what is the American that loves country music, it's faith, family, fun, friends, and God, or faith and God is one. And in the Latin culture and in the Cuban, heritage, it's faith, family, fun, God. It's the same thing. It's just another language. And it's so funny because I think about, and in Cuba, I think there's a preconceived notion of like what that looks like and the beaches of Cuba, and it's so coastal. But my grandparents grew up on a farm. They grew up with animals, and so when they came to the States, it's like they they had animals here, and so we took care of animals. And then my dad, to think of like what more American thing to do than cross the ocean to become an American. It's like that is the epitome of what country music is. It's like chasing the American dream and the beauty of living in a free country and the way that that works. I think that it's a really beautiful thing, and so I love talking about it because I think the crossover is country music and the Hispanic heritage is literally the same thing, just in different languages. And, my family believes in the same thing. It's just in Spanish.
And you've also mentioned really your parents' work ethic, but then combined with what you've learned from The Voice, you've mentioned that it's really upped your writing game. It must be great to have those parts of your life in your corner as you continue to make new music with different
Yeah.
songwriters and creating your own stuff. How much does it mean to you this moment in your life as far as having those kind of strengths to and your own strength to propel you forward?
Yeah, it means a lot to me. I think I've learned so much. When you go into the show, you never think, that you're gonna, it's a show. So you have to remember that like, you're there to fulfill the need of the show. And so it's like, what can I really take away from this situation and all of it? And I think the one thing that I took away the most and the one thing that I've loved rewatching on the screen is just how human I was and how people connect with that. Because then I take that into my writing and it's like, sure, I cry a lot. That's my biggest, comment is like, God, this girl doesn't stop crying. And so what? Like I think a lot of us do, but to remember that it's okay to do that and how many people are like, I'm the same way. I literally do this all the time. And so I take that into all aspects of my life. The person I am on stage is the same person you're going to meet off stage with a whole lot less of makeup and a whole lot less of my hair done. So it's really it's really incredible. And the one thing I learned the most from my original coach, Kelsea Ballerini, she lives by authenticity. And I think witnessing that in person, we had a lot of conversations on and off the screen. It was awesome to know that, you can be really specific and share about your life and hopefully be a sounding board or a place where people find comfort in your music and in you. And I've had messages from people that are like, I went through that same exact thing, or I did that already. So I love reading those things. I think that's really, really cool.
Angie, and you being personal with your music and your songwriting, I'm also amazed at how you were very well, not steely-eyed, very strong in your performance at Penthouse with Kelsey on stage because that song itself is an amazingly personal song and beautiful song, and you're sharing it. That must be a moment that maybe you look back on with, I don't know, fondness or emotion. What?
Yeah. Originally, when the song was, the song I was going to do, it was terrifying. I think that was like, oh my God, this is her song. And then there's this whole thing that like Adam Levine, when someone does his songs, he takes it even more personal. And so it's like, it was a really scary decision to do that. And so going up there, and what's funny is I didn't realize the impact that it would have on her. Because of the way that she's had an impact on me. It was a really unique way of like push and pull because what I notice is sometimes I feel, or she's expressed that she didn't feel worthy of being in that chair and that it was that moment that made her feel worthy of being there. And, her music got me through so many things. So it's like to be doing that and have that moment with her felt really special for our connection. So.
And speaking of connection, people connecting with your music, what can you tell them about that February release, Running Back, which I really enjoy, and your upcoming release, Mint Condition?
Yeah, I have had so much fun recording songs. So these are the first songs that I've released that are written by me, co-written by me and some of my collaborators and my co-writers. Running Back was just an ode to my hometown. I was really strategic with how I wanted to release music and what was important to me. So with Running Back, it was like I knew that I wanted to like pay homage to my home, and I don't get to go back as often as I would like to. So I didn't want them to think that I forgot about them. So releasing that, it was funny because I had planned to release it and then I ended up on stage with Kelsey in my hometown because of my hometown. So it was like such this big circle moment. And so people have taken a liking to Running Back and what that means to me and just my family and my hometown. So that was Running Back. I have another one coming out called Mint Condition. That is a sweet like love song, and I did that also on purpose because of the way that Dirt Cheap was in that kind of melodic kind of vibe. So I kind of stuck within that vibe of music, and that's my next one. And then I have another one coming out after that that is really, really special to me too that I am not going to talk about yet.
Well,
But
and
it's
I know you really can't talk about too much about what sort of the kind of broad picture, big experience with that, with a new coach and a coach who you've really complimented on Instagram, on your IG. What have you learned from him and that whole new team and experience?
Yeah, I'm really excited. The next round is playoffs. And it is, I was a little scared to go into a new relationship with another coach because I didn't have as much time to develop a relationship the way I did with my original coach. But Michael Bublé is just so fun and funny and personable and kind. And even if I was a really, really bad singer, I don't think he would have the heart to tell me. So I am really excited for y'all to see what we did and how we worked on it, and it was really special. So I'm really happy with it.
Angie, with playoffs looming, a lot of people are DMing you or asking you even in person, what are some of the or lessons, not that you've just taken, but how can they get on The Voice? What is the journey
Yeah.
of getting on The Voice? Is it simply just hard work and trying? What do you usually give people who are aspiring artists?
I always tell people that no just means not right now. I think it's really hard to take no and be okay with it. Yeah, I'm still not okay with getting no as an answer. I'll like come back and try again tomorrow and ask again. And it's a whole heck of a lot of no's before you get a yes. And that's for not just myself, but for a lot of people that are on the show. Um, I think it's really important to just be persistent. And if it's what you love, I think, if someone else can do it, then why not you? That's how my mom raised me. And I think that's really, really important. And I was by no means a good singer. Actually, my original vocal coach told my mom that perhaps I should try something else, and that my brother was a better singer than I was. So, that little lit a fire under my butt, and I, worked at it so hard that failure was not an option. So I do think that persistence is key, and never take no for an answer. Try again tomorrow.
Also, focus is key. It seems you're very focused on your
Oh
career,
yeah.
and I think that, and you said strategic. I think that's always should be a positive thing. Whereas I'm sure you've met. I'm not just talking about the voice community. I'm talking about people you've met along the way who may have just the best voice or maybe the most charismatic in the world, but they're just doing it on a vibe level. And
Yeah.
you got to do more than you got to put in the
Well,
work,
there's
right?
nothing wrong with a vibe level. Like, there's just a different, it's just different. So, like, I meet people that just do music because they can and it's a vibe. And it's really frustrating to me because I'm like, sometimes they have it easier than I do and I bust my butt for it. But, the vibe level is just a different kind of music. For me, it's the music business, and 90% is business and 10% is music. And so I just think that it comes down to everything. It comes down to how you are, who you are, what you wear, who you talk to, like so many things. And it's taken me a really long time to figure that out. But I am no gatekeeper. I will tell everyone how it works, because I wish someone had done that for me. So I answer all the messages of people asking, and they're like, "How did you do it? I want to do it. I'm too scared." And you can't be scared. You just got to do it.
And your final question for my podcast, I do sort of a movie, TV recommendation thing. So, two-part question. Can you name one of your all-time favorite movies and what is it so special about this movie for you? And the
Yeah.
second part of the question is, can you name a favorite country album of yours and why does this country album mean so much to you? And thanks for your time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Um, my favorite movie is 51st Dates, which sounds pathetic because, of course, like I pick a rom-com, like lame, whatever. But I just love Adam Sandler so much. And I think um, I love love. I hate singing about love, but I love love. And I'm such the romantic. And so, like, it's this reminder that, like, someone that wants to fall in love with you and wants you to fall in love with them every day will always put in that effort. And I think the memory loss thing is so common in my family that it just hits me in a personal way. So I love that movie. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, that makes me choke up. That's a very deep rom-com, actually.
It's so good. It's such a good rom-com. It's like the best. And it's just so lighthearted, but in such a serious manner that it's just like I love it. I've watched it so many times. Um, as far as my favorite country album, I'm gonna have to go with Kelsea Ballerini's "Rolling Up the Welcome Mat." I think it's the album that started the rest of my life, we could say, with Penthouse on it. And I also think it was the album that taught me that it's okay to be extremely, extremely vulnerable with music. And as an artist, I think it made her so lovable, and it was real. And it's okay to be human and do what we do. So that's why.
Angie, just very quick question, mini question. I think I buried the lead here. Why do you say that you hate singing love songs? That was a whole lead. That should have been the lead of the story. So
No, I just think it's so much more fun to sing about breakups. So I love love, but something is I like Mint Condition, my new song that's coming out here in April, is a love song. It's about like a love that was just meant to be, uh, is what it's about. And it was so hard for me to sing it. I don't know. It just makes me squirm inside. Like I love it. I just think it's like I am working on being okay with singing about love.
Well, I prefer bittersweet, kind of love songs as well. So thank you so,
Yes.
Angie, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.